to double check. Okay? So on this one here, right below it, you might recognize, hey, all of these are divisible by 10, giving us 3y squared plus a y minus a 2. Leave that 10 out front. Factor just like on the last page. This has to be a 3y and a y. That's the only way to get 3y squared. So then I'm going to want a -1 here, positive 2 there. Because that's me just finding numbers that multiply together to give me -2, positive 2 and -1. And then where I multiply all of them out, it would give me a positive y. Here's what it would look like to double check these types. We'd get here a 3y squared minus 3y plus 2y. And then minus 2. So you might recognize once again, hey, this gave me a -y, but I wanted a positive y. What's that tell me to do? Change these signs here, just switch them. So I'm going to do that. All right, there's no shame in finding the wrong answer. It usually tells us something. All right, so now I needed this to be negative and this to be positive, which would change that to a positive, that to a negative. All of that would simplify down to 3y squared plus a y minus a 2. And then don't forget that 10 we had out front would take us back to the 30y squared plus 10y minus 20. All right, and that's back to our original statement. So this page here would continue on. They're going to be GCS. GCS can be a variable. Like on this one, can simplify down to this by dividing them all by an x. And then factoring from there, leave that x on the outside. This has to be 2x and x. So this will be -5 and -1. All right, and remember, I can do these in my head very quickly because I've done so many of them. Might take you longer to kind of cross-reference here the fact that that's 1 and 5, the fact that this is 1 and 2, and then getting it all placed in there together to multiply together correctly. All right, concept of solving by factoring, same kind of setup here. We could factor out here, biggest number looks like a 5, giving us a 3y squared minus 10y plus a 7. 5 will stay, so that's going to have to be a 3y and a y. Working with factors of 7 here, so I'm going to do -7 minus 1, set it up equal to 0, and then set my two pieces up equal to 0. So this one would be y is equal to a positive 1. This one would be, after I add 7 to the other side, I then divide it by the 3 to get that answer there. Remember, when we're solving, that 5 on the outside doesn't do anything for us. We leave it there, but it's not going to help us express our answer. Okay, on this one, I could factor out an x, giving me 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. Factor it here to a 2x and an x, and then let's see here. Let's just kind of cross-reference here. I got 1 and 5, and I'm trying to get a -3 out of it. And so here I'm working with 1 and 2. So how can we make this work here? If I put the 5 here, you might recognize, hey, that's going to be too big. That's going to give me a 10x. So let's put our 5 here. Let's put our 1 here. And I want it to be negative, so I'm going to put my negative with that there. All right, so there's my two pieces. Now on this one, this x can be equal to 0. So my solutions would be x is equal to 0. Here I'd add 5 to both sides, then divide by 2. And then here I would get that x is equal to a -1. All right, so as you can see, pages 3 and 4 are much tougher. If you've made it through both of those pages, that might be a good spot to go ahead and stop for the paternity leave, leaving us time later on to talk about like the following pages. But this should probably keep us occupied for quite some time, especially if we're not particularly great at it and it takes us a while. So good luck. Utilize other online resources. If you just Google in factoring, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff to kind of help you out.